So we stopped here at the Hopewell National Cultural Heritage Site. See if it's any cool or interesting. The mounds seem really worn down and not very distinct, so.
But we're hopeful.
We hope well. So this site doesn't seem like the best, most impressive, awe-inspiring, historical, archaeological specimen, so maybe we're gonna try to find something else. I'll show you all this little diagram. I imagine back 1,000 years ago or so, it was probably a pretty impressive place, but there's been railroad construction, farming, all kinds of other land uses here that have really eroded the mounds. So you can't really see them, but it stretches more than a mile in that direction here. And you can see this is where we're standing, and it would have looked like this. Each one of these is a football field here. So we are at a different location now, another earthwork close to the Hopewell complex that we were just at. This one's definitely more impressive, but it looks like there's only one or two actual features, but it was nearby, so definitely worth looking at. So it appears that this site is actually about 2,000 years old. It was also a large geometric earthwork structure. About 120 acres, so a very good size. You know, if you just didn't really think about it, you'd just say, oh, okay, well, these are big piles of dirt. It's not that impressive. But this site alone being over 120 acres in size, and it had a large sort of perimeter earthwork that was a geometric shape, and then the central mound, which we're heading to now, is pretty impressive. I believe this was also an Adena culture site. So what's actually left of this place is, I think, just a small section of the original size. But, you know, for 2,000 years, it's kind of amazing that there's anything left, considering it was all, you know, it's not stone construction. So I don't know if this is even really coming across in camera, but this is a big mound. This is pretty substantial. So it looks like lots of artifacts were found here. Thousands of pearls, copper ornaments, mica, tortoiseshell, silver even. And it does look like this was maybe a mortuary mound. Awesome stuff.
Which is your favorite?
So that's that large mound.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a huge size. And you gotta wonder, why is it geometric? You know, what's the function of this, or purpose? We're at the top of the mountain now, and you can see this giant circular earthwork here. Maybe you can't see, but I can. And then there's another mound over here. This really was a very large place, and it probably took hundreds of people a long time to build. So guys, you can kind of tell that these earthworks were spread out in a huge area. I mean, not just in Ohio, but Illinois, Missouri, all the way up. There's some in Michigan, Minnesota, as far south as New Orleans, into Georgia, Arkansas. And they were built over thousands of years and by different people, but there is some sort of common cultural strand that runs through all of that. And a lot of people think it has to do with large trading networks using the river system. It's pretty unique here for central North America. Fascinating stuff. I love it, honestly, and hopefully you guys do too. I don't really know what this is. but it's kind of cool. It's honestly creepy a little bit, I think, but this is the heaviest door I've ever moved in my life. Like maintenance door. Oh my god. Oh my god. We got here just in time for the 3 o'clock bells, honestly, so very, very kind of weird.
As in just the skyline location and date.
We found a mound, guys. Naturally, you all know I'm very excited right now.
All 10 of your watchers.
I think I'm up to like 17 views on most videos.
Whoa. Now I'm down to just the 2 cards.
Oh wow, they dug a shaft and tunnels. 1 burial 8 feet from the top. A bark-covered skeleton. And then a vault.
Yeah, where there's just one.
1000 BC, that's what they're saying, is that the fact that it's not accompanied by other earthworks means it's probably the Adena, which is one of the earliest Native American groups to build these things. So 1000 BC, so like 3,000 years ago. So this mound was built sometime between 1000 BC and 400 AD, probably by the Adena. The Adena culture, which is one of the earliest Native American cultures to build earthworks in North America. It's very windy today. I imagine thousands of years ago, this view would have been absolutely incredible. Probably something else that you'd never get otherwise. This is a very important monument here in Ohio, really in the whole country, I think. Captain John Cleves Siems entered the Army of the U.S. as an ensign in the year 1802. Here afterward, he rose to the rank of captain and performed daring feats of bravery in the battles of Lindy's Lane and a sortie from Fort Erie. Oh yeah, he's a philosopher and the originator of the concentric spheres and polar voids. He contended that the earth is hollow and habitable within. It's pretty obvious to me, I think. Well, that made my trip.
Oh, yeah.
I'm done. Let's go home.
Trust me, I had enough practice.
Found another mound here. This one's a lot smaller, but still conical shape. So I'm betting it was also the Adena culture that built it here. Oh wow, look at the view up here. The view from the top is this Quarry Lake here, which obviously wouldn't have been there when it was built, but and hundreds of wild birds there, some sort of waterfowl. I don't know if you all can see it, but pretty cool. So we come back to Cincinnati to see one last mound that's literally in the city. There would have been hundreds of these mounds, not just in Cincinnati, but Louisville, St. Louis. Most of them were just demolished to make way for buildings. Not this one. Well, I mean, I gotta go up top of this thing. So as I was just saying, it's crazy to think how there would have been hundreds, thousands more of these mounds in the whole greater Mississippi River Valley. But we've erased most of that, and now it's kind of interesting that people are surprised maybe to find out that it exists, or that it existed, this kind of massive civilization. But at least we can explore it today, and I got to show you guys some of it, and I hope you enjoyed it. Maybe we'll keep doing more of this stuff.